and how good it is, it's game over. Just like McDonald's is collapsing, Coca-Cola is collapsing, all these globalist corporations are collapsing because of voting with our dollars. They are scared to death of you, and thank God you took that initiative to tell your story. Now if others tell their story, we can expose what's happening, and we can push back, because they know if the dam breaks on this, the fluoride's going to get pulled, people are going to learn they have power, and through that manifestation of we the people, it's game over.
Exactly. And actually what we're doing at this point now, in fact, it's kind of funny because after the city council meeting, I had all these reporters coming up going, oh, how do you feel about this? You know, how are you taking this defeat? And I pretty much kind of laughed at them and said, you know what, this isn't over. As Americans, our founding fathers created one of the best forms of government in letting people have recourse. The problem is there's so much apathy that we're letting our rights being taken away, and we're not taking them back.
That's right. You're an incredible mama. I've got to go to break. What a great American we're talking to, and a mother.
Communist China.
Women out there that were like, say, my dad's mom, who are nice and sweet and feminine, but aren't going to be pushed around. And the fact that, oh, you got defeated. I got defeated. She's had a huge international victory showing it's illegal to try to produce your own food in most areas of the country with animals that are designed to be in very small places. And again, if communities want to vote to do this and it's popular, it should be done. You want to live in a fancy area where people don't do that? Believe me, it's going to get so in vogue. Actually, a lot of rich people actually have their own animals and horses and pigs and all the rest of it. The point is, we need to get back to this. We're losing our humanity. The corporate Borg are trying to end human agriculture right now. This is the takeover. And look at our story. It's on drudgereport.com today. Privacy expert, time-traveling robots could punish future crimes. And they're time-traveling back in time, looking at your records, and then they project forward in time and can predict, they say, almost 100%. It's 2015, folks. It's Buck Rogersville. We got about 5 minutes left here, 5 more minutes the next segment. I want to get Ms. Freeman or Mrs. Freeman back on soon. Simply amazing. So where are your goats now? Where does the fight go next? How do you recall the city council people that voted against the will of the people?
Well, basically, my goats are actually with a young woman who lives just outside of town. She's watching them for me in the meantime. As of right now, the only way that we can get this unjust law overturned, this overbearing ordinance, is if we take the power out of our corrupt elected officials who are out of touch with the public and have no desire to do their job correctly, which is to be a representative of the people, and to put it back into the power back into the hands of the people. The way we can do this is through a ballot initiative, and that's what we've done so far. Since we got the verdict from the city council, we have actually created a political action committee called Urban Farmers for Food Freedom. And we're in the process right now. We actually have a local law firm who is working for us pro bono that are very supportive of our cause, Mello and Sarsfield LLP here in Visalia, California. They're drafting the initiative for us. And we basically are going to get this on the ballot, hopefully by June. In the meantime, we actually are fundraising, so we can actually use a lot of help right now. As of right now, we don't have enough funds to get that on the ballot. But if you'd like to, you can go to our website, improgoat.com, and donate there at our GoFundMe. But I am absolutely confident, based off of the petitions. Our petition wasn't a legal petition. It was more like a show of hands, like how many people want this to be done. But the support in the community is overwhelming that if this is put to the people, if the vote is put to the people, I have absolutely no doubts in my mind that we will be able to allow small food-producing animals in Visalia, California. That would restore property rights and food freedom rights to over 130,000 individuals. Yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. It's a little upsetting for me. One of my goats actually is pregnant right now. She's due in September. I was really hoping to have her home prior to her kidding. But, you know, I'm looking at my options as far as possibly moving them to my parents. They live in a neighboring city in the country. So that's where we are right now, just trying to raise funds. I mean, even like donations of stamps are fantastic. It helps us.
What does your husband, who's in the military, think about this?
He's incredibly supportive. What's actually really surprising is everyone in his shop is very, very supportive as well. People are wearing, I mean, we've been making a lot of stickers and bumper stickers have gone a little
That's right.
viral.
Stay there.
I'm pro-goat.
I want to hear more about this when we come back in 1 minute and how folks can fundraise and support you, because this fight is everybody's fight worldwide. You see, instinctively, we know we're being removed from the land to be imprisoned. Instinctively, we lust after going back to the land. Stay with us. I'm ProGoat.com. I am ProGoat. IMPRO goat.com is fighting to be able to have 2 little goats in her backyard that she then milks and gives to her children. This is a medical condition, having to have her breast tissue removed when she was a young woman. And look, I've had neighbors, even in, middle-class areas I've lived in that had some chickens in their backyard. They look kind of cool, hopping up and down on the fence and sometimes getting in my backyard. And just think how alien it is that some people don't like. Now, I had neighbors that had peacocks, and they would get downright annoying. But in a way, it was kind of cool. But, man, they screech. But then owls killed them, so I guess that took care of that problem. Everybody I know that's had peacocks only have them about 6 months because the owls come in and take them out. At night, they don't even eat them. They just fly in and kill them. High speed, boom, basically knock their heads off. Break their necks. But great horned owls are amazing. One time I saw one kill a pigeon sitting on a power line. It was getting dark, and this big owl just flies by, pow, hits that pigeon, and feathers just explode. And didn't grab the pigeon, just killed it for sport, I guess. Saw a hawk kill a pigeon off a power pole one time, but it hit the ground, then the hawk came down, red-tailed hawk grabbed it to the apartment complex I lived at and took off. Side issue, Gingy Friedman, I'mProGoat.com. You got about 3 or 4 minutes left. I want to invite you on the nightly news with an update for a full 30 minutes in the near future. What else do you want to impart to folks about this fight where they've banned your goats?
Well, basically, we've reached a point where the reason why the government is able to get away with what they're getting away with is because we're just complacent and we're apathetic and we're letting it happen. We're letting this overbearing government take away our basic God-given rights. And, I mean, this isn't just property rights. This isn't just food freedom rights. I mean, we've reached a point where, especially in California, not only do we have a government telling me what I can, I mean, my goats they're tiny. You can see in the picture, that's a full-grown goat that produces milk for my child.
So cute.
Quieter than, they come up to my knee. They're quieter than dogs. They're quieter. One of my neighbors didn't know I had them for almost half a year. And so, they don't break any pre-existing ordinances. They're actually the perfect neighbors. And yet it is a crime for me to have these goats and to feed my children with them. And that's just an absolute shame. I mean, it's terrible that we've gotten to this point. In California now, we also have the SB 277 that's trying to tell us not only what we can feed our children, but what we can put in them, what we have to put in them as far as vaccines go. And it's getting to the point as a mother, like I said, I'm a new mom. I have a 1.5-year-old, and she's now almost 3 months old. I'm not happy with where our government is, and it's only going to change if people like me and you and other people step up and say no.
Sure. Who's that there with you?
I was actually going to introduce her. This is Susan Walsh. We're going to have a fangirl moment. We are both huge fans of you. So when you said that you wanted us me on for 30 minutes, I was like, you're going to be here, and you're going to say hi, because, I mean, for 8 years now? 8 years now. She's listened to every single show of yours, so we are actually huge fans.
Well, I'm a fan of you guys, and I just want to say, seriously, you're the heroes. You're the ones taking action. So I'm definitely humbled by that, but just great job. And it just shows how by them attacking your freedom, it's exposing it. So people see that as a negative thing, that you didn't win right away. You're winning by taking action.
Yeah, that's what I actually told my husband, too. I mean, I firmly believe, God has put me in the right time and the right place for many things. And the amount of media attention this is getting, and the amount of people who normally, wouldn't. I've got people out registering to vote right now because they want to be able to help pass this initiative.
Well, listen, you guys probably have stuff you got to go do, but if you want to hold for 25 minutes till Esselyn's gone, I kind of talked over you and cut you short. I wanted to come back and get both your takes on where this fight's going globally and why you think they're doing this. I mean, we obviously know why, but if you can hold for about 20 minutes. Daniel Esselyn's coming on with breaking intel. We'll come back to you for some comments. Criminalization of micro farming, gardens, goats, chickens in your backyard. how that's part of this Agenda 21 to make us dependent. U.S. may position for war against Russia is the headline. It's already happening. Walmart has $76 billion in undisclosed overseas tax havens. Illegal alien rapists, child molesters freed in U.S. instead of deported. Judicial Watch, 36,000. But they're having a manhunt all over northern New York, searching thousands of homes looking for 2 escaped convicts. It's just a Fourth Amendment power grab. Military veteran taken to court over city for his off-the-grid solar panels that aren't hooked into the grid. Boehner targets the Republicans that didn't vote for the TPP for retribution, The Hill. And that ties into these headlines. Will your job be stolen by a robot? Calculator reveals a likelihood of a droid sitting at your desk in the future, Daily Mail. New York State Senator proposes using GPS implants to track inmates. This article's on Drudge from InfoWars. Privacy expert. Time-traveling robots could punish future crimes. Self-driving cars may have to be programmed to kill you. The London Independent today. How sexually confusing moths could save your clothes from holes. How does all that tie together? We're under massive engineering. Best-selling author and researcher Daniel Estulin is an amazing individual, and he's written the Bilderberg Club book, The True Story of the Bilderberg Group, that became the international bestseller in more than 30 countries. DanielEstulin.com, and he's got a new film out as well, or coming out. And, of course, he got even more famous when Fidel Castro invited him to Cuba to talk about his book. And it doesn't mean he's bad. If Fidel Castro invited me to go speak to him, I'd go say I disagree with communism, but I'd talk to him. It's just interesting. Daniel Estulin's obviously had a big effect, is the point. And I happen to know of 2 of his sources into Bilderberg. We have some of our sources that are on the edge of Bilderberg. A lot of what they say ends up in public statements, but kind of shaded. But he really has given us a lot of information over the years that 2-3 years later happens exactly as he said. Here's an example. He said they're going to implode the housing market in 2 years to consolidate power and to start a new bubble. He said that in 2006. It happened in 2008. Exactly as he said. That's because he's not looking into a crystal ball. The Bilderberg Group is at the very top of these globalist power structures. And so he joins us in hindsight to get into, from his sources, what was on the agenda this year and how things are going for them, what they think about the euro being in trouble with the EU, crisis with Greece, England wanting to have a vote to get out. They always said they couldn't survive exposure. Are they in trouble, or are they stronger than ever? Daniel Estulin of DanielEstulin.com, thank you for coming on.
Alex, it's always a pleasure to be on your show. I always feel at home and very welcome, and it's great to be with you. Yes, indeed, I was at the Bilderberg conference. I didn't make it too close to the actual events. We actually stayed in Innsbruck. Our sources on the inside, the same sources which sent us the original document from October 2014, telling us about the actual site of the meeting in June of this year. They warned us a couple of weeks ago, saying that they're on the lookout for you if you actually get there. They'll do everything in their power to make sure you go. So we stayed in Innsbruck, and our people, cameraman Incognito, actually went over. They didn't tell anybody they're part of our group, and that's the information the last little bit we're going to be putting into a documentary. But that said, we certainly have a lot of information from this year's meeting. As you know, our sources, they're always there. They never fail with the information, and it's been a very interesting slog, I have to say that. And I've been also following what your guys have been saying, and a lot of great information. So I'm very, very grateful to be back on your show.
Well, thank you. Well, you've got some of the best sources out there, quite frankly, inside Bilderberg. We just have them on the edge of Bilderberg. How are things going for them? What's the mood? What was the theme? And what are they going to be pushing?
Well, you know, I think they're very concerned. You have to say, if you're looking at the agenda this year, and also if you're looking at the actual list of the attendees, it was, pound for pound, I'd say, it was certainly one of the stronger pound for pound lists over the last 10 years or so. There were lots of, presidents and prime ministers from, northern European countries, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, that kind of stuff. And also some notable missing individuals, as was the case with Christine Lagarde, the president of the International Monetary Fund. She wasn't there, which only goes to show you, and basically tells me from what we're getting, is that there's going to be some changes at the International International Monetary Fund on the one hand, and also the fact is that the United States, which is basically, the principal